Who's,
I'm making this back.
Harold, who's doing that parade with me? Okay. Meeting order. Sharon, Greg, I didn't look up. Sorry, I didn't mean to get this short. So item number one, item number two. We need all the prayers we can get, or you can come up to the podium.
Artie Woodcock. You need the prayer, I need the practice. So, please. Good and gracious God, we are, we're grateful that the small details of our lives matter to you. You want us to bring all of our cares to you. You ask us to, or you really direct us to ask for wisdom as we seek, and you tell us to lift up those who are over your people. And so I lift up this court. Lord, I pray that you would guide them, give them great wisdom and understanding to know how to do the business of the people. And I pray all of that in Christ's name. Amen.
Thank you very, very much.
Who was that?
Never actually formed my you're in the church he's from?
I do not. So Artie Woodcock is from where?
What church?
I'm not sure.
You just don't.
We're just hoping that he might.
As long as we got the name on the record, it's good. I never met him.
I don't know.
It's been around a long time, and then he left and came back.
Ah, all right, item number three is recognition of special guests. I see we have the sheriff and Mike, precinct 4 constable. Anybody else I'm missing? As far as elected officials, item number 4, citizens' comments. I don't have anyone that signed up to speak, but if you haven't and would like to speak now on the agenda when we get to it, just raise your hand and let me know. Item number 5 then is consideration and approval of minutes from November 8, 2021. You got all those electronically from Sharon.
Make a motion to approve the minutes presented by Sharon County Clerk.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, item number 6 is, I believe, consideration and approval of any treasurer's and auditor's reports. Do we have any under this line item?
No.
Because I think you have yours as a, you tell them. Yeah, okay. Item number 7 then is, we'll come back to 7, I'm sorry. Get out our consent agenda. Item number 8A is consideration of approval of action regarding the burn ban.
We're still on table. I know they have to freeze, I guess, for problems some places. I don't know where it's going out in other areas, but so far, we got it.
It's getting really dry. And,
And I have friends that they had a hard frost over there, close to the lake over there on the west side. And they're pushing that.
Chief, do you have a recommendation for us?
Just that we haven't had a lot of fire activity, a lot of control burns that they've been having. Commissioner Willie said it is getting dry. The 1 hour fuels, which is like what starts the fires, the grass and the small twigs, is getting down pretty critically dry. So probably near future we need to look at.
The Forestry Service hasn't sent us anything
No,
specific.
the grass is dry, it's dead. Deer hunters ran from all over, had campfires, and I hate to put it off on deer hunters, but a lot of them will walk off and head back home and leave the fire burning. So if we don't do it now, we need to do it relatively soon.
Stephanie, can you make sure and have the order for us next Monday?
I'm not thinking the old one expired by now anyway, the one we were on previously.
So I'll put it back on the agenda for Monday. Is that right?
Scratch.
Is it okay?
Yeah, we might need to have Andy, that's written on the agenda for everybody, so we can take
So I'll get the order ready next Monday. Is that all right with everybody?
take action that week's notice. As long as we have it.
All right. So, you know, anything
I'll
else?
say no action today, but we'll be good on the radar, guys.
All right, we'll take no action on item number 8A with anticipation of action a week from today. Item number 8B, Lisa, come on up. So Lisa, Dick, our health department administrator, she's gonna give us a COVID update. I see we hit, our hospitalizations are down, but we had 191 new deaths.
Yes, so that was one additional death in the previous week. And just kind of looking at it, remembering from very early, and Crown County has been, has been hit hard concerning deaths. When we look at per population, we're about twice what Texas overall is. And so that's why, one of the reasons why our county numbers are so concerning.
That was, if I can jump in, that was why twice when President Trump was in office, that's why he specifically invited this county up to the light because our numbers were so high. But of course, we also have an abnormally high number of retirees and seniors here, which is what it hits the worst. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk.
No, sure, but recently, and maybe an exception, but recently our numbers of people that have passed away, their statistics look like we're seeing younger people in their 40s, 50s, 60s. Today, the one that we're reporting is a person in their 70s. So, which kind of, that part matches what you're saying, Judge. So we had 35 additional cases, that's a little bit up from the previous week where we had 26. But the point is we're trending lower than we had been earlier in the year, back in August and September, which looks really good. We are coming up on a holiday season where people will be getting together. I would just ask that people be mindful that if they are sick, even though it's still, you want to be with those people that you love and care about, it'd be better to step back for a while so that we don't spread, we don't continue to spread COVID.
We are expecting a spike after Christmas, I'm assuming.
That is what we're anticipating, is having the spikes maybe following Thanksgiving and then following Christmas and New Year's. So we're hoping that that does not happen. We are still working on vaccines. They're still available at most of our local pharmacies and in the health department. Last week, when we're looking at first-time doses and then the second dose that we bring you to fully vaccinated, then there were 440 provided in our total 440 provided in our community. That does not capture those vaccines that were given as booster or third doses, though. So more than that were given in our community. Just those brought up our statistical numbers. The previous week were at 39.08, and so then now we moved up to 39.66%. So that's kind of what that extra doses did for us, is that it boosted us up a little bit. But as we're moving forward, it's going to take us a significant amount of time at this rate to get to an environment where COVID is not as easily spread.
I would love, if you would, I would love to see us hit the 50% mark. What can
That would
this
be-
board help you do to get there?
Well, I'm not sure. This has been very useful, but just encouraging people that to go ahead and be vaccinated, especially before the holiday season. Right now, we're still a couple of weeks out. And so if you got a vaccine early in this week, then that would provide that you would be a lot less likely to pass COVID or get COVID at Thanksgiving, and certainly by Christmas would be much more immune.
Questions for Lisa? Keep up the good work. Let us know what we can do to support you and your staff. Thank you. All right, so there's no action, of course, on item number 8B. I'm gonna skip down to item number.
Judge. Can we go back to item 6?
Sure,
We have I overlooked the investment quarterly report.
All right, so we're gonna be open, revisit item number 6, consideration approval of the treasurer auditor report.
The Brown County investment report for the first quarter of 2021 is, let's see, thank you, everybody's got a copy of the front of the form. The total, let's see, beginning, or beginning total, the CD total is $11,717,087.29. And for year to date, interest was gained by $2,253.01. So interest is down because not paying very much, but it's still paying. And the affidavit that comes with it is undersigned Commissioners Court, Brown County, Texas, hereby certify that Aaron Carcoon, CIO, and Treasurer, and Gary Worley, CIO, Commissioner Precinct 1, presented the Brown County Quarterly Investment Report ending September 30, 2021. The report is accepted as presented and presented on number. I move to approve this quarterly investment report.
I'll second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All further discussion? All in favor? Carries.
Sharon, do you have a copy of the,
This is it.
I think so. It says third quarter 2021.
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry, I
thanks.
want to skip down to item number 8E, so Carl and Brian don't have to wait so long. Carl Greer, our maintenance supervisor, well, actually has two items on here. Consideration of possible action of getting courthouse chiller repaired, and then you want to talk to us about, we're gonna have to take it one item at a time. But he also wants to talk to us about a maintenance program. That's the next item, but I'll have to read that in. So
Okay.
if you'll take this one first, tell us what you need under this.
I brought with me Rick Colley from Accurate Air. I called 4 HVAC companies. They're the only ones that responded.
Thank you. I'm gonna say, I have the same issue with tanks.
But he can explain, the chiller really needs some major repairs. And he can explain more.
And before we go further, I will say that must have been budgeted a little last year. So much we're spending keeping that thing up, so.
Half of my budget was spent on air conditioning, the chiller, the boiler, and the fan coil units. There's 31 units all there.
And we'll get to that item next, but go ahead and tell us what,
Yes, sir. So the device on this chiller, there's two circuits that are in this chiller, and they have an expansion valve that controls the refrigerant. And one of them has failed, and one of our field technicians has modified it to keep it from loading up, because this expansion valve will not operate. Once it loads up all the way, then it trips off and then your chiller's down and it doesn't work. So what he did was he called the factory, York, and got some service bulletins from them, and they actually have a problem with this expansion valve. It's a Danfoss, it's the manufacturer of it. And they've had so much failures with this type that they moved to a different brand that's a foreign manufacturer. So once one of these fails, what they require us to do is to upgrade to this new manufacturer, which entails changing not just the one that has failed now, but you gotta change both circuits at the same time.
how would you estimate what we have in place is?
The actual chiller itself is
Just so we,
I don't think, probably by the date that chiller was put
That's when
in.
McKinstry was here, they put that.
I don't know, it's not on our,
6 years ago, 5 years ago. It's been a while.
but, they kinda got our hand tied, we can't. They got.
what is your estimate?
The estimate to change out the,
Yes, sir.
is $13,129. What you get with that is, you got 2 new valves, and where they get us is, we gotta go in there and put all the new, program in the chiller. You gotta do all the computer boards, gotta be updated to the other valve, doesn't cost the same thing, which is this one. It's kinda like the update on your car, They kinda got us, there's nothing we can do.
And it's gotta be done.
Yeah, it's gotta be done.
Question isn't whether it needs to be, it's gotta be, so we gotta.
Because right now, we just got it, like I said, it's just we manipulated it to where it just runs at half throttle, basically, to keep it online.
Does that pretty well replace all electronics of the?
Not all. There's a whole bunch of electronics in this control panel. The boards that will be replaced are just the boards that control the expansion valves. And all the particular stuff that works with those.
Would it marry up to the?
Yeah, oh, yeah. It all, once we replace the new valves, go in there and replace all electrical harnesses to go with it. And then the boards, and then all the software that goes with it. They all talk
Also,
to
the
you.
York update.
Yes, this is from York, it's from them, yeah, this is not, we'd rather just fix it in the field.
For those valves in there. This is, that's the valves that got rusted out.
That was the one inside the.
No, these are inside the refrigerant circuit on the machine itself. Based on the temperature of the water, it controls the flow of refrigerant.
Right, I guess the question is, for the auditor, where we can take this from?
We have some money in special projects that we could probably unlock that.
Tell me the total again.
The total for that one was 13,129. And the deal is, another deal is, it's 9 weeks back at this point.
So let's hold it along.
Well, that controls, they don't matter on the heat part, right?
No, so that's what we're gonna do.
So
So
luckily, the company.
luckily, it's not July, yes, sir.
For 13,129, everybody.
Is there a warranty goes with that? service?
Yeah, it'll have the manufacturer warranty. I'm not sure, it's probably a year or so, from installation.
Well, I'd recommend the needed repair.
Take it out of special project.
I guess that's where Josie thinks it needs to come from best. Okay.
We have a motion on the floor. And a second from Commissioner Worley to pay 13,129 for the cooler. If it goes over that, you'll let us know.
I will.
All right. Do I have any further discussion? Okay. Passes unanimously. Thank you. The next item Carl has is item number 8F. Is a consideration approval of getting a possible approval of getting a courthouse chiller boiler and AC unit on a quarterly maintenance inspection program, which I understand saves money.
Hopefully it'll keep it from, some of the major repairs. So hopefully that will help. They can see what needs to be fixed before it really gets in there.
Come on up and walk us through that.
He's gonna be able to tell you,
Explain everything. Okay.
tell you what all they're gonna be able to do.
So this is, we brought this to him before this failed. So when we bring these, this is where we want to come in quarterly and look over all the stuff that you have here and try to catch catastrophic failures like this, where it costs a lot of money, and stuff's still gonna break, don't get me wrong, but our technician may have been able to see that circuit wasn't doing exactly what it's supposed to be from the last time he was here. We may have been able to get something prior to the failure. That's what we get with these PM agreements.
So this would be just a.
Yeah, this is just a quarterly, we come quarterly, we change all the filters, go through all your fan coils that are throughout your building.
So it's just a 12-month agreement?
Yes.
So would it be, you want it to begin now or the beginning of the year?
He had it to where it started small.
Yeah, but we can go and we can modify dates to reflect, whatever we need them to.
The issue's gonna be the total. So
Yes.
Tell us what that's
No, I
going to
understand. This one is, 10,706.24
per year.
to be billed out quarterly at 2,676.56.
Does that also include your samples, water samples?
Yeah.
In the chiller?
Yeah, this covers your boiler, your pumps that run your boiler, your air conditioner, the piece machine that's down here, and then all your inside fan coil units. Y'all take care of the filters, we put them in, right, y'all buy your own filters? Yeah. So this is just where our guy here in town that comes already, he just comes regularly and he tries to catch.
Will that including like cleaning cool and these cools cleaned or something like
Yes,
that?
One visit before summer is what we call a major inspection where we go through the chillers, clean all the condenser cools and get everything washed and ready for summer. And then in winter time, we come back and we get everything ready for winter, whatever that entails. We go through the boiler, change all the gaskets, check the igniters. We try to keep failures from occurring.
Tell us the total on this.
10,000.
10,624. So I have to write it down.
10,706, 24 cents.
All right.
And we got it quarterly, billed out.
If there's any repairs needed, are those extra? Are they in that money?
Yeah, no, they're extra.
Well, this is just for, to go and check.
This is-
What we currently doing there, nothing. I mean, we're doing it ourselves.
Yep, we'll just call it when they break.
We do, Brian and I do what we can.
You have to get everything internal cool and stuff too, that clear.
It's not included. Washing the insides all the time.
They don't always need it.
No.
Because they were, but that's not included.
We clean the cools on the chiller, pressure wash, bring pressure washer, clean there.
How many units are there?
There's 30, counting the chiller and the boiler, there's 31 units in the court.
31.
And this is something, Carl, you obviously got it on the agenda. This is something you're recommending.
I do, to try to save major problems.
And, you know, we do these, you know, all the place, and that's just that's what it's there for, is to try to save you money in the long run.
We're just penny pinchers.
No, I get it.
I know that the quality of keeping the water in the chiller, the water mix was,
It's a water treatment, it's got glycol.
so that, I mean, you gotta keep that on, basically, don't be a lot of corrosion, so that's very important to keep
Mhm.
the water, the chiller fluid, whatever you call it, monitored, keep it in the proper pH and all that, whatever it is, so it doesn't corrode all your parts.
He has a number that y'all actually pay for repairs.
What did we pay last year?
Sorry,
What did we pay for repairs last year?
$20,000.
Well, it's not a big repair, but it's gonna help head off some of them that may be fine, you might.
Right, yeah, like I said, you know, stuff's still gonna break, but we might find a wire that's about to burn into before it burns into. and we'll-
Gentlemen, what I think Carl recommends it, it's up to y'all.
No, that's where that can be budgeted out of.
I'm just asking, I don't know if we have the money to do it.
Gary, you look like you're something.
Yeah, 10,000 is a lot for you coming in and changing filters and keeping the coils clean and not doing any repairs. The repairs are extra. There should be some level of repair in there. If you find something broke or about to break, you fix it. But it shouldn't be extra.
2,000 a month is hard for us.
Yeah, no, maintenance.
Quarter.
What is maintenance?
2,000
Quarter.
You come 4 times a year for $10,000. That's a little bit steep to my thinking. I don't know.
But maintenance is actually your inspection versus maintenance. So we're calling it a maintenance contract.
That's right, it's preventive
We're
maintenance.
actually furnishing the filters, even at that price.
Do what now?
We're still furnishing the filters at that
Yeah.
price.
Yeah.
I think we ought to think on that just a little
No,
bit.
it's just,
Might even, next time shop that around a little bit.
Well, like I said, I called 4 HVAC companies and they got one response.
Responding.
I mean,
I did have one company come up here about 3 weeks ago and look at everything, and I haven't heard a word from them, so. But you hear about it, I guess.
well, I'd kind of like to
You want to read it?
let that part maybe look a little bit more and just make sure it's, maybe get some comparable costs on the maintenance contract.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
So we want to take no action on item number 8E at this time and take the contract under consideration. We meet every Monday, basically. So, I'm sorry, 8F, I wrote through, I scratched through it, it looks like an E. So the 8F will take no action on,
Maybe Carl can find some comparable.
I'll see what I can do.
and, well, sure we'll be able to do something for you, but we just want to make sure we have everything.
I understand. That's fine. That's fine. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Brian. Did you have anything you need to add? It's all on you. Okay, Larry, come on.
Yeah,
it's on there. Okay, item number 8C is in Charles. Rick Price, our election administrator, he would like, we need to canvass November 2nd, 2021 special election vote. And I understand, is it another week, a couple of weeks, you're gonna come to us and ask us for
This money.
some equipment?
Well, I think we need a hybrid.
Paper ballots,
We need a paper, yeah, like what we do on a paper. Hybrid.
as long as we're not the whole thing.
2 million population.
Right there, you go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to canvass the election of November 2nd. We had 8 propositions or 8 constitutional amendments. And so let's start out with number 1, State of Texas Proposition number 1. We had 1,756 votes for, 422 votes against. The fours had 80%. That will take the win. State of Texas Proposition number 2. For was 1,173, against 1,008. So we had 54% basically for it. State of Texas Proposition number 3. For was 1,857, against was 333. So with the 85% for state. State of Texas Proposition number 4. We had 1,366 for. We had 772 against. 64% for takes it. State of Texas Proposition number 5. For was 1,359, against was 784. So the 63% for takes it. State of Texas Proposition number 6. 1,986 for, 196 against, 91% for takes it. State of Texas Proposition number 7. For was 1,970, against 217, so the 90% for takes it. And Proposition number 8, we had 1,978 for, 209 votes against, so again, 90% for, the winner on that one. And at this time, we'll accept the motion to canvass the election.
All right, do I have a motion?
I was getting sidetracked.
It needs a motion to canvass.
I move we approve the canvassing of the election votes on November 2, 2021.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All in favor? Carries unanimous. Thank you, Larry.
I was trying to remember what the 2 was.
That was the one that allowed counties to, borrow money that doesn't show up against the total tax rate.
I couldn't remember what the word.
Didn't know what they could.
That was the one that's close.
It's to issue bonds to, or aid in development of life there.
All right, thank you.
Your official results for second year.
For the record. Do I need to sign anything? No?
Yes, sir.
I think so.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Item number 8, is in George, is the sheriff, the discussion and consideration for approval for benefits regarding medical staff. I'll let him explain to you, we ran into a small issue.
Good morning, y'all. Last month, October the 8th, I hired Charles Cooper to take over the jail issues of the medical care for the inmates. And we're paying him jailer wages, and we have been for quite a while.
So this is just a jailer employer.
Yes,
It
it's-
has been, right?
That's how we brought him into the jail, is a position as a jailer and the pay, which $38,000 a year for the medical service, we're doing pretty darn good at that. I recently went out for some contract bids to look at that, and it's in excess of $200,000 a year is what it would cost us for medical if we didn't have Doc Cooper, or, we used to have Dr. Dunn doing it. But when I hired Cooper, I told him that And I was wrong. I told him that position had full benefits, insurance, retirement, everything. And I sent him to the auditor's office, got him, or treasurer's office, got him signed up, put on the payroll. He didn't want dependent insurance until last week, so he called me about it. So I had him go visit the treasurer's office, and that's when I found out that that position has never been offered insurance. It caused a little bit of disturbance in the force there, but, here we are. You know, it's, if y'all want to wait till this next budget year to get him benefits or dependent insurance, I certainly don't have a problem with it. I'm the one that falls. But I will tell you, I
That's a
was
long wait for it.
What is the question, why is the reason it's not? I'm asking. Well, I thought you said we're getting
It's a
full-time.
full-time jailer position.
Yeah, that's-
You're paying him as a full-time jailer position.
It was originally set up, as Commissioner Worley said, back when Dr. Dunn was hired as a part-time position. It's kind of evolved into what it is now.
I never
Without
did,
benefits.
I never realized it was part-time. I thought it was always a full-time jailer.
Well,
That's
salary
my
question, that
assumption.
is part, he is actually part-time, it's obviously not here. 30.
But as far as the benefits go, that line item in my budget, I get back around 200,000 a year. Because we have to budget for my employees to have those benefits, and a lot of them don't use the dependent insurance, so therefore it gets given back. But, and again, it's my fault, I did wrong, so if y'all want to wait till the new budget year, I can put numbers out.
You said you had the money in your budget, though, to speak, is that what you're saying?
You don't have money in
Yeah.
it, because they never fetch the jury. We budget every employee, but you have some turnover, they never did.
So that-
My question about it is, it's full-time employee at Hendrick, is that correct?
Yes, it does work for him.
And,
There's a waiting period.
is he not covered under, he and his family not covered under Hendrick's plans?
I did not quiz him about the dependent care, I know that he.
I mean, that would be my only question, is that his actual full-time job is with Hendrick, and it'd be with any employee.
How many hours a week do you suspect?
Oh, my goodness, I mean, we call him 24/7.
So if it had out.
He's on 24-hour call, does
Yes.
that change our status, does that make?
I still can't believe we get.
Well, now, professional, 24
All 24.
I'm looking
38,000.
we'll look for legal answer here.
I'll take
Robert, in our full-time job, and then we call it full-time also if he's on 24-hour call.
That shouldn't matter.
So, is he still eligible in that respect?
Josie, if the sheriff said if you say he covered in his regular budget, I'll make a motion that we go there.
Well, and that would be just for this situation, the next situation will be different, for the different. So you're gonna do it for
Well, honestly,
a year at a time, or you're gonna do it forever? You're just gonna say, let's do it for this budget year?
I would like to just keep it permanent, because we never know what's going to happen.
something else happens. We have a motion and a second, so we're discussing it now. I was always under the impression that it came with benefits. I didn't realize that it is.
And that was my,
That's what the doctors and did it was for the benefits.
I thought that he refused.
He didn't want to do it.
Dr. Dunn refused, gracious enough to refuse to pay. So I didn't really know what it ever originally entailed.
So we have a motion and a second. We're discussing, any further discussion?
I think you have to make him do the 90-day waiting period so that.
Well, of course, that would just be up to the commissioners if they want to do it 90 days.
Well, every employee does, so
I'm saying y'all are the ones that made that.
we're gonna visit that in this October. I'm gonna bring that up. But for right now, it's still a policy in place, so. When was his first day?
October the 8th.
Okay, so he's a month and a half in, so I say with the 90-day waiting period from the date that he began, I'll add that to my motion. Are you okay with that, Wayne? So he's still, we have a motion and a second. So any further discussion?
We're not making a change in policy. Okay, I'm good.
All in favor? Passes unanimously. There you go, Sheriff.
Thank you. Inmates, 166 inmates. 6 of them were contracted locally, so we're getting paid for those. And I have no inmates in any other jails at this point. And Chief Stroop did tell me your request on some numbers.
Yeah, I would just like, if you wouldn't mind, in the future, like last month, what we received in revenue, if that's something you keep track of. I can really just multiply it times the.
Every month I can provide that, no.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you all, appreciate it.
All right, item number 7, consideration approval of, oh wait, I've got one down here. Hang on. Item number D, 8D is in David, forgot it's, one Stephanie put on my name, discussion and consideration for approval of next year's holiday calendar. She gave you, where she followed the holiday she's recommending, and I'm recommending follow this federal and state. It's what Judge Smith will have,
Or the,
We're on the tablet.
oh, they're on the tablet, sorry. But there's a written copy
And
there.
then we got, they added this year's, state and federal,
We did, yes.
one more day added in the calendar now.
Juneteenth is now a state and federal holiday, so Stephanie included that on
There
there.
was one question about it, if you had the holidays for,
New Year's Day for 23 celebrated on Friday, December 30th, 22. I would think we need to move that till Monday, whatever it be,
The next year.
on
Yeah, after the new
the
year.
23, instead of having 2 New Year's Days in 22.
And she asked me about that, so I'll take that. I told her to put it always in front rather than behind, so if you don't want to make that amendment, that's why she included it that way.
I was in on that, actually, Deanna brought that to my attention.
Yeah, we looked at it last.
So we'll strike New Year's, December 30th all together, and it'll be on what we approve for next year. That sound good with everybody?
Yeah.
It's not on this one, but it will be on next.
Right, it'll be on, we'll approve it next time.
We'll be there, we'll be there.
So with that change is, do I have a motion from anybody to approve the calendar?
I'll make a motion to approve the calendar as modified.
Check. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Has it unanimous. Item number 7, consideration approval of payment of bills as needed.
You skip item
Skipping one.
H.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gary. Before we go to the bills, and then we got 9 also. Item number H, I apologize, Gary. Commissioner Worley, consideration of possible approval action regarding investment policy. Oh, I was thinking that's what we did before.
The investment policy has to be approved by the Commissioners Court every year. And Ann Harpoon and myself are the investment committee. She's the head of it. And we haven't changed anything from last year to this year. It reads exactly the same. Sets out how we can invest money, what funds we can invest in, and everything about it. And you have that, everybody has that in front of them. It takes a resolution, an order from the Commissioners Court. And I'll read it. Resolution of the Commissioners Court of Brown County, Texas, adopting the investment policy. Whereas the court acknowledges that an investment policy must be adopted to comply with Public Funds Investment Act, Government Code 2256, and as required by the Public Funds Investment Act, the court must approve the investment policy on an annual basis. Now, therefore, be it hereby resolved by the Commissioners Court of Brown County, investment policy is reviewed and approved, duly passed and approved by the Commissioners Court of Brown County, Texas on the 15th day of November, 2021. I move we approve this resolution.
Sure. There's a motion and a second. Commissioner Trey, seconded. Any further discussion on the resolution? All in favor? So that passes. Item number 7 is consideration of approval and payment of any bills as needed. You have those 4 rounds. I want to take a look at those real quick, if you already have. I did a quick glance, I didn't see anything major that stood out. Pat, I'll get you in just a second. So we're coming to you in just a second. Randy, it's good to see you here. Well, Frost Day, get right on target, didn't it?
For some, yeah. Low lying areas got it.
Old Cold and Blue Cats are on the roll.
They are. Special group this year.
Did Hurley?
Yeah, really good. I had intended for that Diamond P to come out of the, capital project. And
It's all in May.
I wrote it on there. So I need to definitely talk about that.
I called,
I said, I'm going to.
I
I think it may be in there.
We need to.
Yeah.
You can just say, with that one change. And I'll get it
So I need to-
all right, I think we're ready to, we got an amendment over here, but go ahead.
I move we approve
Go ahead.
the bills or receipts to be paid with the exception of one in precinct 2 being moved from precinct 2 to capital projects.
Michael, I intended to come out of the other.
So we have a motion, do I have a second? I have a second by Commissioner Shaw. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right, and the last item is item number 9, Commissioner's comments. Commissioner Worley? Hilton?
No, good with them.
I do, but I'll go last. Larry? Wayne? Pat, come on, let's make it real quick, but I want Pat to give you, he started this since, I want to let y'all know this is in Commissioner Kelton's precinct.
Yes.
I see what we're talking about. This requires no action, but I want to make sure that you're all in the loop in case you get stopped and asked about it.
This is in North Lake.
Playground with her.
North Lake Ground out there.
Shortly after coming on board with you guys, Jeremy Boldock, the fire chief of the volunteer fire department at North Lake Brownwood, was contacting him about getting replacement radios for the volunteer fire department, which we had a grant for. And he didn't need the radios, but he said, well, what about our tornado shelter? I got no idea what you're talking about. And so we sat down, I went out and visited with him, and we walked the property, and I got all the documents and information that he had been accumulating, and started the process. It is, working with the grants and doing county roads, low water crossings, generators, staying on top of those things is really good. But I'm going to tell you, this is making a difference where these people in the North Lake Brownwood area, or pretty much all the Brownwood area, Lake Brownwood area, have an opportunity to have a safe place to go during a catastrophic weather situation. At a meeting of the people in North Lake Brownwood area, they were saying, the fire chief was telling them, saying, okay, so listen for the alarm system when bad weather comes, and then you need to seek shelter. And they asked him, so where are we supposed to seek shelter? And he had no answer for them.
So this one you're working on, just to make it quick, is up to 300 people can get in there?
319 people is what it's set up for. It's above ground. It's been tested through the Texas A&M storm testing center using the 2x4 torpedo program that they use to test the size of the building. It's rated to over 250 miles per hour, and it's also approved by FEMA, and it's a 75-25 program like normal.
So when you've got everything done, you're gonna come back and present to us what we would.
Absolutely.
Want to move before. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew what he was working on in case you didn't ask about it.
That deal, that's got to remember, there's a lot of permanent residents out there, there's a lot of mobile homes, and there's one road in and out of that whole building. I mean, that's one way in and out. They don't, that's the place to go.
It seems that every time a tornado it comes through that alley, right there.
They had approached Bob, I think Bob had been approached about this, but I don't know.
He had a lot on his plate and hadn't gotten to it yet, but he had accumulated some information. I just kind of took the ball over there, move forward.
Yeah, it's not an action item, it's under Commissioner's comments. I just wanted him to brief you in case you get asked about it.
But I can tell you, a project like this makes a difference in people's lives, and I think this is an exciting project that we're working on.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank y'all for the opportunity.
Thank you. All right, okay, under me, with all the other commissioners, have anything with Josie, you don't want to go to staff, do you have anything?
No, no, wait, I have to get some more information. We do need to meet next week.
Okay. All right, so we'll move off item number 9 with, obviously it's not an action item, it's coming. So I didn't mean to ignore you, Chief. Did you have anything you want?
No, sir, no, right.
All right, when, today's the 15th, we want to meet on the 22nd, is that what you're doing? All right, so does anybody have any further business that's on the agenda before, I declare us adjourned? All right, we are adjourned.
Yeah.
Yes, I like your best.